Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the... Yes, please go on the record. Is that you? We're on the record in case number 9774. We're here for an evidentiary hearing. It's the application of Halo GB2 LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a 4.5 megawatt solar photovoltaic generating facility in Caroline County, Maryland. Let's take appearances, starting with the applicant.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Colleen Collins. I'm an attorney from Gordon Feinblatt representing the applicant in this case, and I'm joined by my colleague, Mr. David Beaglemans.
Good afternoon. Power Plant Research Program.
Good afternoon, Sandra McLemore on behalf of the PPRP.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Harrison Scher on behalf of the Commission's technical staff.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Did you want to do your exhibits first, or doesn't matter? You're here for the duration, regardless.
I will be here for the duration, yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Collins, did you want to read your records that you'd like to have marked into the record?
Yes, Your Honor. And just to confirm, applicant's Exhibit 1, the certificate of publication for the pre-hearing conference, has already been entered into the record?
You need me to confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's going to take a minute.
Oh, sorry. I believe we read it in at the pre-hearing conference.
Do you know when the pre-hearing conference was?
I can, I do not have that. I don't have internet right now. Oh, yes. Yep.
I guess it was April 16th.
Yeah, let me confirm. I can pull up the certificate of publication as well. Should sit right there. April 16th at 4 p.m. That's correct.
Yes. Exhibit 1 was entered.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll read through applicant's exhibits to be marked and entered into the record, starting with applicant's exhibit number 2, applicant's environmental review document dated January 16th, 2025, consisting of 39 pages under mail log number 314942. Applicant's exhibit 3, the appendices to the environmental review document dated January 16th, 2025, consisting of 388 pages under mail log number 314942. Applicant's Exhibit 4, applicant's response to PPRP's completeness determination, filed on March 10th, 2025, consisting of 16 pages under mail log number 316576. Applicant's Exhibit 5, applicant's response to PPRP's first data request, filed on April 21st, 2025, consisting of 86 pages under mail log number 318169. Applicant's Exhibit 6, applicant's response to the bench data request number 1, filed on May 6, 2025, consisting of 3 pages under mail log number 318625. Applicant's Exhibit 7, the direct testimony of Mr. Sean Miller, filed on May 27th, 2025, consisting of 5 pages under mail log number 319147. Applicant's Exhibit 8, the direct testimony of Mr. Michael Lacia, filed on May 27th, 2025, consisting of 21 pages under mail log number 319147. Applicant's Exhibit 9, applicant's certificate of publication for the first public comment hearing, filed on June 9th, 2025, consisting of 9 pages under mail log number 319478. Applicant's Exhibit 10, the supplemental direct testimony of Mr. Sean Miller, filed on August 6, 2025, consisting of 26 pages under mail log number 321084. Applicant's Exhibit 11, applicant's revised site plan, filed on August 19, 2025, consisting of 3 pages under mail log number 321653. Applicant's Exhibit 12, applicant's certificate of publication for the second public comment hearing, filed on September 24th, 2025, consisting of 9 pages under mail log number 322658. Applicant's Exhibit 13, applicant's certificate of publication for the third public comment hearing, filed on October 8th, 2025, consisting of 9 pages under mail log number 323061. Applicant's Exhibit 14, applicant's setback modification agreements, filed on October 25th, 2025, consisting of 34 pages under mail log number 323505.
So, 21st.
October 21st. Yes, apologies, Your Honor. Applicant's Exhibit 15, applicant's settlement status update, filed October 27th, 2025, consisting of 1 page under mail log number 323672. Applicant's Exhibit 16, applicant's sign affidavit, filed on October 28th, 2025, consisting of 6 pages under mail log number 323713. And applicant's Exhibit 17, applicant's response to bench request number 3, filed on October 28th, 2025, consisting of 5 pages under mail log number 323743. And with that, Your Honor, we request that applicants' Exhibits 2 through 17 be marked and entered in the record this afternoon.
Okay, applicants' Exhibits 2 through 17 are marked, and then it's my understanding they're going to be entered by stipulation. So applicants' Exhibits 2 through 17 are admitted into the record. Did you want to call Mr. Miller to the stand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want me to swear him in? Can you raise your hand? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So you ready for my questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the ERD in front of you?
Yes.
So I'm on page 2. I guess it's the third full paragraph.
Yes.
Can you just explain there's a half an acre or 0.6 acre that is in a different zoning district?
Yes, the subject property is what is called split zoned, and so the western portion of the property is zoned I2, or light industrial, and the property on the east is zoned R, or rural. The project area that is proposed on the western portion of the property consists of a gravel access drive to access the eastern portion of the property where the proposed solar arrays are.
So when I look at, I guess it's figure 1, a couple pages down.
Yes.
What I see between what I think you're calling the west side and the east side is a railroad?
Yes, there is an abandoned railroad there.
The project area that you have highlighted in a, what is that, blue, is that the 34 acres?
That would be. The total limits of disturbance in the ERD was approximately 34 acres. So subtracting out that 0.6, it would be about 33.4 acres on the, yes, that area that's marked as project area.
That's 34 acres of an 83.7 acre property, correct?
Correct.
So can you tell me, looking at figure 1, where the property lines are approximately?
The property lines, and I apologize, my aerial is in black and white, but there is the darker land cover area. So on the east side or right side of this aerial, outlined in blue, is one portion of the property. The railroad right-of-way splits the property, and then there's a, again, darker area of land cover that is on the west side of the property. That that is the other portion.
Okay, I don't know that we're gonna be able to work that out with your not in color map, because what I see to the east of the area that's captured project area, it looks like a farm field.
Correct, and that is not a part of the
Not part of the parcel.
parcel. It would most likely be easier to describe on the concept site plan.
Is that the August 19?
Correct.
Your Honor, I have a color PDF on my laptop that I can provide for Witness Miller, if that's helpful.
Did you want to look at that, or do you want to look at the concept plan?
I believe that is a PDF of the concept plan. I can look at that, yes.
Concept plan, so he wants the.
Okay.
Not that.
This binder says 10.
The other tab's the ERD.
I have the color site plan in front of me now.
As do I. So I see a red line.
Correct. So the red boundaries, which are shown on the west side of that Oxford branch rail line, there's a red rectangle on the west side of that rail line, abandoned rail line, and then the area that is bounded by the red on the east side is also the subject property.
Down to a stream or something.
Correct. Yes, the eastern boundary is a stream, creek, a waterway.
Okay. What I was trying to determine was, did you see PPRP's responses to my most recent bench data request?
Is that bench data request 3?
Well, I think they labeled it 2.
No, yes, I have that.
2 to them.
Yes, I have that in front of me.
What I was trying to determine was the distance between this project on their map and the Cherrywood solar project to the east. And it looks like you're telling me there's a parcel between this project and that project.
That is correct.
So they would not be adjacent.
That is correct.
So at the initial public comment hearing, Jesse Hammock spoke on behalf of the commissioners of Caroline County. And he stated that the county anticipated that the applicant would comply with all siting requirements in the Caroline County Code. Do you know if the applicant will be able to comply with all siting requirements in the Caroline County Code?
The applicant intends to comply with all siting requirements in the Caroline County Code. The only item which has been coordinated with the county that would be different from the county code are the reduction of the setbacks on all sides of the solar array portion of the property to reduce those to the zoning district setbacks as opposed to the solar specific setbacks.
What about decommissioning regulations? Does Caroline County have any decommissioning regulations?
Caroline County does require a decommissioning plan to be submitted along with the application for the site plan for a solar project. So they do require a decommissioning plan, yes.
Do you know the timing?
Typically, the decommissioning plan is submitted after final site plan approval and prior to the issuance of a grading or building permit.
So any issues with the license conditions with regard to the timing?
We do not believe there should be any issues with the licensing agreements regarding timing.
So at page 6 of the ERD, the first full paragraph,
The paragraph that is regarding the consistency with the comprehensive plan?
yes.
Yes.
About in the middle, there's a sentence that says the project includes the development of existing residential and agricultural land into a community scale solar facility.
Yes, it does say that.
Is that a mistake? It's not residential. You said it's rural and, or you said it's,
There is a, on the industrially zoned property, there is a vacant, unused home. But currently, the portion of the property that is utilized, with the solar project is proposed on, does not have any residential uses.
so it's not zoned residential, but it just has a residence on it.
It is zoned R, which is rural in Caroline County. I believe that is under a classification of a residential use.
So on page 7, section 3, paragraph 3, I don't know. But then the second paragraph of that section, it states, the project operates concurrently with agricultural operations. But the acres that are taken out of agricultural production reduces the acreage, right?
During the operation of the project, the area available for agricultural use would be reduced, correct?
On page 8, paragraph, or section 3, second paragraph, the project will propose a 25-foot landscape buffer. And then you say the landscape buffer will be opaque within 3 years. Can you tell me what you mean by that?
That statement, I believe, is in reference to the density of the landscape buffer. Within 3 years, there will be more growth of the landscape buffer, and so it will be harder to see into the project at that point. However, I would say the typical colloquial understanding of opaque, it will, there may be, the solar project may still be visible from adjacent properties.
So opaque doesn't mean screened.
Correct.
Okay. Then on page 10, first paragraph, it's going to be a 6-foot high security fence, but then it's designed and installed to allow for the passage of small wildlife. So it's not a basic chain link fence, or it is?
So it is an option to provide a agricultural fence instead of a chain link fence.
If the county wants that?
If the county would like.
On page 15, I guess it actually is, to be a complete sentence, it starts on the very bottom of 14.
Okay.
The ERD states, during the civil permit approval process after a CPCN is granted, a stormwater pollution prevention plan will be developed for the project to further discuss waste removal and sanitary waste procedures. Can you explain that sentence?
For all projects over an acre in the state of Maryland, a stormwater pollution prevention plan is required to be submitted to the state with the application for a notice of intent general stormwater discharge permit. That stormwater pollution prevention plan would go over the requirements for the project's operation and construction to avoid any issues from any construction equipment that was utilized to result in spills or any sort of contamination to the adjacent properties or environmental features, but it is a requirement for all projects over an acre.
Okay, specifically I was tripped up by the to further discuss waste removal and sanitary waste procedures, because I don't recall seeing that, and typically developers say there won't be any sanitary waste produced.
That is correct. That would be the discuss waste removal and sanitary waste procedures is it's not the correct way to describe what this project's stormwater pollution prevention plan would require.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have some exhibits you wanted to talk about?
Yes, Your Honor. On behalf of PPRP, I have 7 exhibits I'd like to have marked.
Go ahead and list them all, please.
All right. The PPRP Exhibit 1 is the direct testimony of Barbara Brox. It was filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017. It consists of 37 pages and 2 appendices. PPRP Exhibit 2 is a secretarial letter. It's dated October 6, 2025, and filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017, and it consists of 1 page. PPRP Exhibit 3 are the recommended license conditions, filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017, and it consists of 12 pages. PPRP Exhibit 4 is the project assessment report for the Broadway Solar Project. It's filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017, and it consists of 33 pages. PPRP Exhibit 5 is the PAR's Appendix A, applicant responses to selected PPRP data requests. It was filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017, and it consists of 75 pages. PPRP Exhibit 6 is the PAR Appendix B, which is the reference sections of PPRP's website. It was filed October 6, 2025, under Mail Log number 323017, and it consists of 29 pages. And finally, PPRP Exhibit 7 is PPRP response to bench data request number 2. It was filed October 29th, 2025, under Mail Log number 323775, and it consists of 10 pages.
Okay, PPRP Exhibits 1 through 7 are marked, and by stipulation, they're entered into the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 1 witness today, Ms. Barbara Brox.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
She's ready for me?
Yes, Your Honor. She's ready for questions. So in bench data request 2, I asked PPRP, and I guess that's you, to compare this community solar project to the Cherrywood solar project, which is a utility scale solar. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm on page 4 of your response. Looks like the setbacks to that project are actually greater in distance. Is that? When I left the public hearing in this case, I drove by the Cherrywood Solar Project, and it's very visible from the road for long stretches. So I guess I was wondering, I mean, I believe you what the setbacks are, though I can tell you driving it, it doesn't seem that far. And also, there's not currently any sort of buffer that's growing to screen the facility. There did appear to be some trees that maybe had been planted. It looked like one row. So I was trying to contrast this project with that in terms of the landscape buffer and the setbacks. If that makes sense. And you have that for the Cherrywood Solar Project, the buffer is going to be 20 feet. Do you know if there was any sort of other requirement placed on it in terms of types of trees or height of trees?
The final order in PPRP's PAR did not list the types of trees at maturity or which trees will be planted.
In looking at page 2 of your response, does PPRP have any concerns that this project is in close proximity to the Cherrywood Solar Project?
No, Your Honor.
And why is that?
Due to there's actually, it's kind of hard to see because of how large it was for the 3-mile radius, but there's actually a parcel between the two utility scale Cherrywood Solar and the Community Solar Broadway project. So with that parcel in between, we didn't see a problem between the two.
Someone standing on that parcel between the two wouldn't be able to see either or both? Is that true?
If there was absolutely no vegetation, I think that they could, but with the landscape buffering, they should not be able to.
The landscape buffering for this project,
For
correct?
Broadway, yes.
Does PPRP have any qualitative comparison that it would like to provide with respect to this project to that project?
Not at this time, but if you want to ask me at the bench DR to go back, we can do that at that then.
Okay, as I said, I drove by the Cherrywood Solar Project. I drove south from Goldsboro, and the project is extremely visible on both sides of the road for at least a mile. And from the testimony in this case and the conditions for landscape buffering, it would seem as though PPRP anticipates this project would not be visible from a road. Is that correct?
For Broadway Solar or for
Broad-
Cherrywood?
For Broadway Solar would not be visible in the same way that Cherrywood Solar is along the road.
It's anticipated with the buffer, yes, it would not be visible.
You were at the in-person public hearing, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you recall the concern that was raised with regard to fire safety? Or emergency response, I guess I should say.
I vaguely recall yes. My recollection is that they asked who would be responding for fire safety.
I think that was asked, and then there was a comment that there's been no training provided to the appropriate agency or entity, emergency responders, with regard to the Cherrywood Solar Project, which is why I asked some questions both of the applicant and PPRP with regard to the solar PV emergency preparedness recommended licensing condition. I think you state you believe it would be reasonable to request that the project owner make a compliance filing summarizing its actions to comply with PPRP's condition.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So Ms. McLemore, are you going to modify the condition, or you want me to?
If you would like us to, we're happy to do that, Your Honor. And also, if there's a need to update conditions, there are opportunities to do that with other cases that have already been given a CPCN too, as well, if that is something that is needed as well. In other words, if you see a concern with the way Cherrywood's conditions are written, or if you think that it needs to be updated, that is something that is available to PPRP when there's something that needs to be filed for that, a compliance filing or decom or something. And as far as the condition, do you mean the emergency preparedness condition? I'm taking it.
Yes, I'm sorry, your response 2-4.
Yes.
You offered to, well, I take it as an offer to update the condition to include a compliance filing, to make sure that what the project owner has said they're
Yes,
going to do.
We're happy to do that.
And then in 2-5, you said one method to help assure that the most up-to-date standard is used in the training curriculum would be to require the project owner use a third-party entity. Are you going to modify the condition accordingly?
Your Honor, our only concern was that we have not had any input from the applicant, and there was already a status update. And so we were concerned about updating something without some form of input from them.
Well, you can work on it with them. I'm not concerned about updating them at this point.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, we will be happy to do that, and we will file something by Monday, if that's okay.
That's fine. I'm actually out next week, so you can have an extra few days if you'd like.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, yeah, wherever in these responses that you indicated that you believe a compliance filing would address the issue of this condition actually being enforced, that'd be great if you could modify the conditions. You can work with the applicant, and then if you can get it to me. I'm going to hold the record open anyway, so we have time to get that
Okay,
in,
Your Honor.
and then-
And also, if you want me to find out exactly if we had discussed shrubbery as far as cherrywood, I can find that out, and we can file a bench data request if that is something you want.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious, although it might not be appropriate within the context of this hearing, but what you said about being able to update conditions in a prior.
Yes, Your Honor. Typically, the applicant is not objecting to updating within reason conditions when they come in for their decommissioning report and all that. And so that is sometimes what we do if there's something that needs to be updated. Because as you know, the conditions have been evolving over time.
I do know that. I don't know if PPRP has, as part of its mandate, goes out and looks at these projects under construction or once they're in operation.
No, Your Honor. PPRP does not do compliance for their conditions. We have not seen that as something that is part of our mission.
What do you think we should do about that as a state?
Typically, Your Honor, the way we view it is if there's a real concern and someone or the county typically may contact us, they have in the past, and said we have a concern. And then we suggest that they bring it before the commission, and it is addressed in an administrative hearing. One that comes to mind is with Great Bay Solar in the past, and I'm sure Mr. Bugelmans is also familiar with that as well. But that's the way we viewed it, and then the commission can, it's under the commission's jurisdiction to determine compliance. And so that's that. We tried to get to that, Ms. Brox did, in the response to the bench data request too. So that's how we viewed it.
I could also add to that, Judge Lawrence, just a little bit of additional detail. In my experience, issues related to anything that's covered in the site plan approval is monitored by the county. So typically they have inspection staff that will look to make sure screening's in place. I'm not aware of the exact procedure used for Cherrywood, But in terms of sort of what's in the ground and what's built, there typically is a county layer that's inspecting things and ensuring compliance with that. You kind of the design compared to the site plan.
Well, and we might be talking about two slightly different things.
Yep.
One's compliance of what was agreed to, and then there's
Understood.
Ms. McElmore seemed to kind of hint to a modification of a condition.
For example, when I'm trying to think one off the top of my head, but some of these are older, and we try to update the conditions. There was a progress reporting condition that has been added since some of these CPCNs have become final, and so we've updated that condition in many cases. We recommend it, and typically I can't remember any time where the applicant has opposed that, but that's what we've recommended in the past. Things like that. Not I don't remember one where the shrubbery has been something that because like Mr. Bugleman said, that type of thing is typically county. We work with the county for that.
Yeah, I guess what was most concerning was the comment that from a member of the public that there had been accidents where cars had gone off the road and struck the panels of Cherrywood Solar. That was probably what got my attention the most, and I don't think that's something where we want to wait for the county to call you.
Yes, Your Honor, and we also, the agencies know to reach out to PPRP if there's a concern. I don't believe we've received one, but that does not mean there is not a concern. Typically, though, what we have typically done is if the county, if we receive a concern from the county, then we discuss it with them and try to figure out how to address it. But we do not go out there and observe. PPRP does not go out there and observe cells.
Maybe one of the things that I'll put on our list is to figure out how the commission, if it learns of something in another case, can sua sponte request PPRP to take a look at a different project. I don't know what the ability is there, but I'll.
I will take that back to my client as well and indicate that there may be some concerns with Cherrywood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have your direct testimony in front of you? I do. Okay. There's just a couple I wanted to clear up. Pages 18 to 19.
Is it the discussion on wildlife, Your Honor?
It is. Okay. So first, you stated that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, is it called the IPAC system?
Yes.
Okay. Identified potential habitat for the proposed endangered tricolored bat and the candidate monarch butterfly. The applicant plans to use pollinator-friendly seed mixes, or its plans to do so, may have a positive impact on the butterfly. Then you said that DNR WHS stated in its October 4, 2024 letter that the project site lies within a large complex of non-tidal wetlands known as Delmarva Bays that are vulnerable to hydrologic alteration, and that some of the Delmarva Bays in close proximity to the project site are known to support rare, threatened, and endangered species. And then there's 6 listed. And then after you list the 6, you say the applicant intends to construct an access road through a non-tidal wetland resulting in 2,217 square feet of disturbance to the wetland buffer and 846 square feet of disturbance to the wetland. And then you say that in its July 15, 2025 letter, DNR WHS stated that there are no Delmarva Bays within the project limits of disturbance. So, I'm confused. First there were endangered species in it, but then they're not. So can you clear that up?
Yes, Your Honor. With the applicant's ERD, they contacted Fish and Wildlife, and they received one letter stating that there were Delmarva bays. During the review process for the PAR, when we contacted DNR and had them review the actual PAR itself, we were then given another letter that said that there were no Delmarva bays. So they went back and reviewed the project area and confirmed that there were no Delmarva bays. And probably didn't need all the extra stuff, since it sounds like it confused the reader. But that's what happened. The first letter I wanted to capture was that they did say at one point, so that is on the record, that there were Delmarva bays. And now we have an additional letter from July 15th saying there aren't any in that area.
Okay, so we don't think there are any Delmarva bays, so we're not concerned about rare, threatened, or endangered species?
Correct.
What about the intention to construct an access road through a non-tidal wetland? What's the import of that?
And for that, the applicant will have to get a JPA permit and
I'm sorry, can you?
joint permit application in order to go through the wetland, and that's covered in an RLC for sediment control recommendation.
Okay, and that's in this section because it has something to do with a Delmarva Bay, if it were there? I guess I'm trying to understand why it's in the wildlife section. Is there something that has to do with
No,
wildlife?
it should be in the wetland section, Your Honor. The statement about the non-tidal wetlands does not belong in the wildlife section. It belongs in the wetland section.
All right, thank you. You can step down. Mr. Scher. I
Thank you,
excuse
Your
your
Honor.
witness, but you still would like your exhibits in, right?
Yes, that is correct. Staff has. Sorry? Push back. Okay. Staff has one exhibit. It's the direct testimony of Mikhail Spiegelman, consisting of 14 pages. This was filed on October 6, 2025, under mail log number 323034.
Stat Exhibit 1 is marked and entered by stipulation into the record. Okay, anything else? Do we need to go over what we're doing? You have everything?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be helpful just to make sure I get everything to you that you need.
Okay, so I think what you are doing is where in your response to bench data request 2, you indicated that PPRP would find it reasonable to add a compliance filing requirement, you're going to modify the conditions accordingly. I think it's the solar PV emergency preparedness, RLC. But there might be a separate one about the training. So it's in 2-4 and 2-5 and 2-6. All three of those you said something about a compliance filing. In 2-3, PPRP stated that it believes the initial training to county emergency service responders should be provided at least 30 days prior to the commencement of facility operations, but you didn't suggest anything in the way of a compliance filing with regard to that.
So we don't need to worry about, do you want us to update that one as well, Your Honor?
Well, you didn't indicate how you thought that, what you believe should happen will happen. How do you think it's going to happen?
I'm confused, Your Honor.
PPRP believes the initial training to county emergency service responders should be provided at least 30 days prior to the commencement of facility operations. How do you think it's going to happen?
If we don't require it, is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
You're right, Your Honor. It should be in the condition if what we believe that should be what needs to happen. I will work with the applicant and let you know if there's any opposition to that, our wording, and try to work with it. So
Yeah, if you guys can't work things out, happy to hold another hearing.
okay. I think we can work things out, Your Honor.
Mr. Sherrod, does staff, you take a look at all these compliance filings, right?
We do, yes.
Right. Anything else we need to take care of today?
We will include staff in those conversations as well, Your Honor. We'll include all the parties to make sure we're all on the same
Oh, no,
page.
I just was wondering separately, if we're going to have all these compliance filings, that there's someone actually,
Looking at them.
making sure they're coming in when they're supposed to, and then checking them off that they actually do come in.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Anything else we need to do today? Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We're
you.
adjourned. We can go off the record.